countries they didn't have an ability to set up shop in. You understand? Think about it like this. This is the best way you can think about the multinational corporations, the military-industrial complex, wars, and the rest of this stuff going and bombing the shit out of innocent nations and committing genocide. Think about it like this. If you are a business and you are setting up franchises for your business and you have a specific area that would be a huge, huge, gigantic market, the only way to get in there due to religious laws and other things is to basically destroy the infrastructure and the power structure that exists there already. What are you going to do? If it works in your best interest, you're going to do it. There's a part in, did you guys see I mean, I read the book, of course, and saw the Trio special and all that, but how many of you guys saw the Men Who Stare at Goats, the film? There's if you put that movie separate from the book and the fact that a lot of the information in that movie is actual real, just set that aside and forget about all that and just look at it from strictly a movie standpoint and entertainment. It's a good film. And there's a part in there where I guess it's Robert Patrick, the guy who played Metal Man. He was Doggett on the X-Files. There's a part in there where they're I guess when they're out in the desert or something, they get picked up by those guys, and when the two security forces, Blackwater and the other guys, they're like fucking shooting at each other with that, that shit really happened. But that's what he's talking about. He's like, yeah, you know what I'm talking about, Muhammad. We're gonna have fucking Starbucks in here. We're setting it up. This is a cash cow. I mean, that's it. I mean, that little part in that movie where he was in that and he said those lines really spoke more to me than, all the stuff of the, the Jedi and all the other stuff that was in that film. That one little part. Because, they really did do that. The federal government really did fund. They really did fund that operation to try and have, peaceful, non-lethal weapons and all that stuff. It's real. You can go watch the Trio documentary and, the part where he takes that plastic thing and he's like fucking whacking Ewan McGregor with it. You can go watch the original documentary of that and see that actually happened to John Ronson. They actually, I mean, that was actually from a real video they shot. The guy really did that to John Ronson. He's fucking whacking him with this thing and just beating the hell. I hate that little clown. So it's kind of funny to watch that. If you haven't got a chance to see the actual Men Who Stare at Goats documentary from Trio, I think it's on YouTube. You should check it out. It's really good. I mean, yeah, the westernization of the countries we commit genocide. We commit genocide. We take their antiquities. We take their historical past, any documentation or anything else that may be connected to ancient technology. And then we let the big boys come in and set up shop. Burger King for all. Burger King and porn. Cheeseburgers, whiskey, and plenty of porn. That's the new Iraq. This is interesting right here. Near naked in airport and allowed to board. There's a picture of an old, he kind of looks like John Statmiller from Republic Broadcasting. I shit you not. I'm not trying to be funny. This guy looks like, I've seen John Statmiller in person before at the conference we went to back in 2008. He looks just like this guy. Obviously this guy's gay. But he's in like fishnets and like camo, hot pant, like fucking ass shorts and a top. And they let this guy go through the airport stuff without any sort of searching or anything else. It's like, I guess when you're dressed like that, what do you have to hide? You can click on that link and you can see the aforementioned picture and video that, oh my God, that's fucking funny, man. Look at that. Where'd it go? Oh, where'd it go? Did I lose my link? Oh, I hate when that happens. I'll just have to hit it from the chat room again. But look at that. It says, oh, come on. Being slow again. It says, Course Gold CA shared a photo. This happened in Dallas? Oh, fuck. God damn it. It had to. I fucking figures, doesn't it? I should have known. God damn. That's the only time I talked about this the other day. The only time that Dallas ever gets any attention is if it's some bullshit. You know, we never get fucking any sort of credit for anything good, but as soon as some fucking cake boy gets caught down the airport, oh man, that's fucked up. They shared a photo of their husband shot of a scantily clad passenger in the Dallas-Fort Worth airport. Rules of dress in public places like airports should be uniform policy and enforced for all sexes, she said. We want to know what's okay to wear on a plane. My husband observed a large gathering in the Dallas airport and observed this man wearing a thong with half his butt exposed. He flew first class, and I hate to imagine sitting in that seat next to him. I'm amazed he was allowed to board the plane half naked. This is okay for a male review nightclub, but not for public daytime. He loved the attention. As you can see, he was posing for pictures. People were laughing, according to my husband. I had no idea until I saw this page pop back up that this actually happened to Dallas. My goodness. That is fucking insane. Wow. So yeah, maybe it's not that he's so much that he's rich. He's probably being flown into some, government retreat somewhere. Anyway, let's continue on here. This is a very interesting story. I don't know if you guys have seen this. This definitely ties into the CMP stuff, and is definitely because, well, obviously it does because this guy is a CMP member. But let's talk about this now. Charles and David Koch exposed for insidious role in crafting the modern right. This morning, the New Yorker's Jane Mayer published an explosive investigative piece detailing the role of the Koch family in orchestrating not only the Tea Party movement, but much of the modern right-wing infrastructure. Oh, we covered this. Yeah, the brothers David and Charles Koch. Oh, we talked about this before. Okay. Yeah, these guys are CMP, and they're connected into Jack Abramoff and Ralph Reed and the rest of the stuff. So I'm not going to go through this again because I've already been through this. All right. Well, there's a link in the chat room. Yeah. But these guys weren't really the guys that started the Tea Party. It was more, it was Dick Armey and the Heritage Foundation. But there's 3 or 4 different Tea Parties. There's a Tea Party Express. There's 2 or 3 different separate groups. Tea Party, speaking of Tea Partiers are scaring white people with DC visit. A Tea Party activist is firing back at the media for exposing a guide that warns visitors to stay clear of certain parts of D.C. The guide was written by Bruce P. Majors, a realtor in D.C. who was heavily involved with the Tea Party movement, who was spotted by many bloggers Monday at the main Refounders Tea Party blog. In his blog, Tea Party, One Lump or Two, Majors, who often cites Ayn Rand and notes that he is gay, attacked incompetent journalists for getting the facts wrong about who made the guide and calling it racist. Pulitzer Prize-winning journalist Eugene Robinson told MSNBC's Rachel Maddow Monday that the guy was simply scaring white people with his recommendations to stay away from certain parts of the city. So I guess this guy made come on. More race baiting, more division. Don't go to that part of town. That's where the black folks are. Well, I got news for you. In case you didn't know, Washington, D.C. is chocolate city, man. I mean, that's I don't know, where are you going to be able to go in there and get away from black folks? I mean, Washington, D.C. has tons of black folks live there. I don't know how, I mean, it's just obvious how retarded this stuff is getting. Speaking of retarded, back in the news again, newly discovered oil-eating microbe is now flourishing in the Gulf. Yeah, all of a sudden, isn't this great? Just an amazing marvel of modern technology. Isn't it great that now, right as soon as they said they had the Gulf oil spill capped, and it was time, okay, now we got to clean all this shit up. Boy, right on time, the day they figured that all out, all of a sudden they discovered that there's this new oil-eating microbe that before no one ever knew about. No one ever heard about it. It was completely unknown. And right as they were needing to clean up all this oil like a gift from God coming down from heaven. So Satan's called. Get that big skinny worm pecker down your gullet. Suck it now. right on time, like a gift from the Dark Lord, an oil-eating microbe is discovered for the first time. Man, so convenient for BP. BP must have God on their side. I tell you. A newly discovered type of oil-eating microbe is suddenly flourishing in the Gulf of Mexico. Oh, my God. This is Associated Press, not the tinfoil moonbat cookery express. Scientists discovered the new microbe while studying the underwater dispersion of millions of gallons of oil spilled into the Gulf during the explosion of BP's Deepwater Horizon drilling rig. And the white microbe works without significantly depleting the oxygen in the water. Well, I mean, well, my God, that's amazing. So let's not worry about having to clean anything up, and BP shouldn't have to pay billions of dollars for any of this because, hell, nature just provided us with an oil-eating microbe that just appeared out of nowhere like a gift from God. Amazing how that works. And the microbe works without depleting oxygen in water, which is great. I mean, is there a chance that maybe they created something like this and let it loose, and they don't want the competition to get their hands on it? I mean, it very well could be. It could be just bullshit too. Our findings, which provide the first data ever on microbial activity from a deep water dispersed oil plume, suggest a great potential for bacteria to help dispose of oil plumes in the deep sea, Hazen said in a statement. Environmentalists have raised concerns about the giant oil spill and the underwater plume of dispensed oil, particularly its potential effects on sea life. A report just last week described a 22-mile-long underwater mist of tiny oil droplets. Our findings showed that the influx of oil profoundly altered the microbial community by significantly stimulating deep-sea cold-temperature bacteria that are closely related to known petroleum-degrading microbes. I thought that you just discovered this. But you just said that there are known petroleum degrading microbes, but the article says that these are newly discovered oil eating microbes. I'm confused. I don't know what's going on. Shut up! No, I'm sorry. I just want to ask that. I was just, confused. Just couldn't figure out why, why it says that they've known about these things for a long time, but yet the title of the article says they just discovered them. I don't know. That's too much for my little simple brain to comprehend. I guess I should just leave it alone. Anxiety still rampant in Katrina kids, says study. Oh, you think? Those people down there thought the fucking world was coming to an end. You don't think they're going to be traumatized by that? Tell me something I don't know, fucking Einstein. Give me a break. Study says emotional problems still rampant in Katrina kids 5 years after the hurricane struck. Yeah, they thought it was the fucking end of the world, man. And for them, it pretty much was. A startling number of Gulf Coast area children displaced by Hurricane Katrina still have serious emotional or behavioral problems 5 years later. Yeah. They'll be fucked up from that shit their whole lives. That's the point. Trauma-based mind control. That was one of but the hundreds of reasons why they pulled off that operation, why they engineered Katrina. Same reason why there's hundreds of reasons why they pulled off 9/11 or hundreds of reasons why they killed JFK. There's never just one reason. People want to argue, oh, well, they did Katrina because of this, or they did it to displace black people. They did it to this. No, it's all of the above, man. All of the above. If you can figure out and deduct a reason why they do any of these operations, chances are you're right. They do it for all those reasons, not just one. More than 1 in 3 children studied, those forced to flee from their homes because of the August 2005 storm, have since been diagnosed with mental health problems. These children who are moved to trailer parks and other emergency housing. Nearly half the families studied still report household instability. Imagine that. That was the plan. So they were successful. Cairn Energy finds oil signs off of Greenland. They're finding they're finding oil off the coast of Greenland now, which just so happens where Alcoa is located, out where they happen to be spewing tons and tons of sulfur hexafluoride into the atmosphere every day. What else do we got? Oh, we talked about this the other day. We talked about another saying ketamine, special K. Get in the K-hole, fool. Is now good for depression. Well, and I talked about how, yeah, they found it, all sorts of drugs, MDMA and all kinds of psychedelic drugs have been good for that. And here's from CNN Health. Can psychedelic drugs treat depression? Pamela Sakuda, 57, was anxious and depressed after 2 years of intensive chemotherapy for late-stage colon cancer, and having outlived her prognosis by several months, she'd finally lost hope. She was living in fear and was worried about how her impending death would affect her husband. Sakuda's doctor prescribed antidepressants, but they didn't do any good, so at her wit's end and feeling that she had nothing to lose, Sakuda volunteered for an experimental depression treatment being studied at UCLA. In January 2005, with a pair of trained therapists at her side, Sakuda took a pill of psilocybin, a hallucinogen better known as the active ingredient in quote-unquote magic mushrooms. It may seem far-fetched that a psychedelic drug associated with muddy hippies at Woodstock would help a cancer patient at a university hospital, yet it's an increasingly familiar scene. Although mind-bending drugs such as psilocybin are still used most often by people looking to get high, researchers around the country have begun to explore whether these and other illegal drugs can help treat intractable depression, anxiety, and other mental health problems. In the past month alone, studies have been published on the benefits of MDMA, better known as ecstasy, in people with post-traumatic stress disorder, and on the fast-acting antidepressive effects of the club drug ketamine, aka Special K. The study in which Sakuda took part in is scheduled to appear in a major journal in early September, and so far, the studies have been small, but the results have been encouraging and better trials are on the horizon. Drugs such as psilocybin and ecstasy can be dangerous in the wrong hands, but when taken under professional supervision and combined with therapy, researchers say just 1 or 2 doses can help patients unlock their sources of their troubles and experience therapeutic breakthroughs that otherwise might take months or years. Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to lie to you. I've told you this before. I've had experiences with psychedelic drugs in the past, and I have, I got to be honest with you. They helped me work through a lot of stuff myself. And that's what they do. Some of these things can be very introspective. And sometimes you need to have those, the wiring unplugged and then shoved back into your consciousness sometimes to sort of rewire and refresh everything and sort of, make you understand what's important and what's not important in your life. And certainly those things type of things can do that. But just like a gun or anything else, those things in the hands of the wrong people can be detrimental. So that's the main thing. But again, I think a lot of this stuff is coming out because of socialized medicine. I think that's why they're now coming out with a lot of this stuff about psychedelic drugs, because they want to start making this stuff legal for clinical use. And it can be a boon for the medical industry and for the medical industrial complex to be able to have these things legal for use now that they're going to have a lot more customers under national health care, you see. So that's the real reason why this stuff's coming out. Calgary's Motive Industries announced it will introduce an electric car whose biocomposite body is made from hemp. So it looks like hemp cars are going to be coming out. The whole body of the car is going to be constructed from hemp. That's amazing. You see people driving around trying to smoke their cars. That's funny. Let's get back on to more news. I want to jump through a lot of this stuff. I'm just going to move through it fast. Past couple of days have just been heavy for news, so I want to burn through the rest of what we have here really quickly. NASA to reveal big news from the planet-hunting spacecraft this Thursday. NASA is expected to make an announcement Thursday on the progress of its Kepler spacecraft, which has been staring at one patch of space for evidence of other worlds. Uh-oh. What are they going to unravel Thursday? This could get interesting. Their planet-hunting spacecraft has apparently found something, and So coming up this Thursday, they're going to roll it out. We'll have to sit tight and see what they roll out. I'm just going to drop these links. Some of this stuff I'm not going to give you a big analysis on. I'm just going to mention it and then drop the links in the chat and move on. Rich exoplanet system discovered. Astronomers have discovered a planetary system which contains at least 5 planets that orbit a star called HD 10180, which is much like our own sun. So they're revealing this right on the heels of now what NASA will be revealing this Thursday. That's a bit interesting as well. That's from the BBC. Again, I'm just covering this stuff, blowing through the news in the final segment news blitz here, and burning through a lot of this news so we can move on to get everything out there today. 24-Hour Fitness rolls out finger scanners at gyms worldwide. Another part of the RFID and total information awareness data mining adventure. Now you'll have to use your thumbprint biometrics to be able to get into your 24-hour fitness locations to work out. This is it. Contact 2010, the year we make contact. Very well could be. I'm not just an anon. Yeah. I've been saying since the end of last year that I felt they were going to roll something out this year. Very well could be it coming up this Thursday. Yeah, you're right. Very well could be. We'll just have to see. But it's interesting nonetheless. Full body scanners are now being deployed in street roving vans. This is from Forbes.com of all places. You just don't expect Forbes.com to be the website that's going to have a story that says full body scan technologies are being deployed in street roving vans. I mean, I'm sorry, Forbes is not generally the place you see this kind of information from. As the privacy controversy around full body security scans begins to simmer, it's worth noting that courthouses and airport security checkpoints aren't the only places where backscatter X-ray vision is being deployed. The same technology capable of seeing through clothes and walls has also been rolling out on U.S. streets. So, man, oh man. So again, it's beyond just being used there now. I mean, they could be, driving these around in front of houses and scanning the inside of your house as they're driving around. I mean, who knows? We talked about this one happening. It sounded shady to me. I guess this happened back in May. Coroner says LPGA golfer Blasberg death a suicide. Yeah, they found the 25-year-old Erica Blasberg. She was hot, man. They found her she had her bags packed, ready to go out of town, and they found her with a plastic bag tied around her head, suffocated to death, and then all these drugs that would have killed her, tons and tons of drugs in her system that would have killed her before she ever had time to put the bag around her head, just like Kurt Cobain had enough heroin in his system to literally kill like 10 horses. But yet he still had time before he killed over from the heroin to put the shotgun in his mouth. Same thing here. So she put a plastic bag over her head after they found butalbital, temazepam, imazepam, codeine, hydrocodone, tramadol, and others in her system as she had her backpacks. And her doctor happened to go in and move items from the scene, including an alleged suicide note. He took it away, but yet the coroner says, "Oh, it was a suicide." Yeah, just like who was it? Who was the guy? Was it? I can't remember. Somebody who was involved in the Oklahoma City bombings, or a whistleblower, and they found him bound and gagged, shot 6 times in the head at point blank range, and they said that was a suicide. Literally. Oh man, the depravity. Speaking of depravity, I know there's a lot of people, including me, who were sort of, kind of apt to give director James Cameron the benefit of the doubt with his movie Avatar. Well, I think he's he's all really just pissed in the face of everybody who defended him, who enjoyed that movie. Because, you know, any movie that comes out, people are automatically going to get on the radio shows and talk shows and say, oh, it's propaganda, it's programming, blah, 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 blah. But I thought it was a good movie. And I thought, you know, I didn't really think it was programming. Well, I guess he's effectively, you know, squashed all that. Reporter says director James Cameron calls climate change skeptics swine. James Cameron, director of the Ego-10 smash Avatar on Sunday, called global warming skeptics swine at a renewable energy conference in Aspen, Colorado. Okay. Yeah, anybody who has facts, Mr. Cameron, is swine to you. Well, let me tell you what swine is, you fucking swine. You have been in an airport hangar where the aircraft hangar, the hangar that was owned by Howard Hughes, where he built the Spruce Goose. That's where they filmed all the stuff for Avatar at. But where he got the money from that, he's been there for over 10 years working with DARPA funding on developing holographic movie technology, which goes along with active denial systems and, of course, Project Bluebeam type holographic technology. He's been working on that and developing that for use in military applications. You see, there's no difference between Hollywood, the priest class, the Pentagon, and the rest of it. It's seamless. And that's why they allow script approval and allow their technology to be able to be used in films, blah, 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 like Transformers, on and on and on. Boy, I tell you, what a hell of a week it's already been for broadcast. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, we've already got 7 or 8 hours of radio under about 2 hours, 27 minutes today. Is a hell of a show. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. This broadcast will repeat on the stream a couple of times, and as well as we'll have other shows and other archives and broadcasts playing here on the Global Reality Radio Network. This is our fundraising week. Please support and donate it at the broadcast, therefore, to help us raise the money to pay the bills. Also, the donate button is there for the films. Larger amounts you want to donate for the Secret Right to, and our push to get that out by the end of the month. And also, we'll have the recurring subscription there if you want to have it come out on a regular basis and have the recurring donation. You can do that so you don't have to go there every month and it'd be convenient. That's where you can do that. My name is Josh Reeves. I love each and every one of you, and we will see you next time on the broadcast. You guys have a great rest of the night. Take care.